This is the Dodgers POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Los Angeles Dodgers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Locked On Dodgers POSTCAST on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel as the boys in blue head out on the road. The first of a three-city tour stop. They start in Boston at Fenway, where things went pretty well today. We'll get into the details here in just a second. I am Pete Fox, covering sports in LA since 2007 for ESPN LA and NBC Sports Radio. Today's episode of the Locked On Dodgers POSTCAST is brought to you by Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, use the code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Well, Dodgers grabbed a lead today, something we haven't seen a lot of lately, so that was absolutely nice, comforting, positive, and they held on to that lead all day long. So that was also something that I think we can hang our hat on and feel like it's starting to get better.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Dodgers starting this 9-game road trip through three cities with a win. 5-2 over the Red Sox, thanks to Teoscar Hernandez.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
The obvious, glaring turning point was Teo's home run in the 8th with a man aboard. That man, Freddie Freeman, blasted it to the deepest part of Fenway Park. Deep center field there, 415 feet to give the Dodgers a little insurance. But kind of a lesser turning point for me was the fact that back in the third, after the Dodgers had grabbed a 3-0 lead, they came back with Emmit Sheehan on the mound. The Red Sox answered with 2, but Sheehan was able to get out of it. And that was huge for me because it's been a regular occurrence for the Dodgers lately where they get a lead or they're behind and they tie the game and then turn right around and give it back. So the fact that they grabbed a 3-0 lead in the third, and then Sheehan came back in the bottom of the third, kept the Dodgers in front. Now they gave up a couple, 3-2 at the end of that frame, so it was tight, but that was also huge for the Dodgers, I think. And then you can add on to that from a pitching perspective out of the bullpen. And we talked about this a couple days ago, that the two Dodger studs out of the bullpen lately have been Vesia and Bonda, the two lefties. And once again, that was the case. When Bonda came in today, he pitched an inning and 2/3 and gave up just one hit. So that was also huge that the bullpen didn't come in, get all shaky and start giving up runs. So I don't, look, I still have my concerns about what's going on with the bullpen. I think we're all going to have these concerns for the remainder of the season, right? Because they're just thin there. I mean, Kasperius closed today. Good to see him back out there because the last time we saw him, we weren't sure if he was injured or not. Turned out to be a cramp, and he's fine. Pitched very well in the 9th, 19 pitches, gave up one hit, a leadoff double, and then got out of it to secure the save. Vesia and Bonda and Edgardo Enriquez all got holds. Enriquez pitched a third of an inning, 7 pitches, zeros across the board. So nobody hit the ball to him, so everything was fine. Roy says, outside of Teo's home run, we left too many on base. We won, so take it. Sheehan's losing command, needs to work on that. I don't know that I totally agree with all of that, Roy. Let's see what they did. Runners in scoring position, 2 of 7, 6 left on base. Look, that's not great. You're right, but it's not terrible. It could be so much worse. And as far as Sheehan goes, as I said, the fact that he settled down, got out of that inning, had one bad frame. What else are you going to tell me that you didn't like about Sheehan? 5 Ks. Here's how that went. 4-seamer, slider. Then he struck out the side in the 4th. Slider, 4-seam. So those are his 5 Ks. Struck out the side, pitched to location, didn't get in big jams. I don't know. that was good for me. 5 innings. What more do you want from him? Seriously, Roy, tell me. I'd love to know. He didn't put the Dodgers in really any trouble, and when he did, he got out of it. So, you could say that, he left some men on base, but it's not like the Boston Red Sox had a horrible day with LOB. They had 6 guys on base, 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position. That's good pitching across the board. Too many pitches up front. Okay. I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that. Up front where? So sorry, Roy. We're not communicating effectively today. But you're of course entitled to your opinion, and I appreciate you coming in on a regular basis. You're one of our regulars here in the chat, and I appreciate that. But as I said, I feel like right now through this stretch with a banged up load of pitchers for the Dodgers, when we get a game like tonight where we jump out early, hold that lead because the bullpen did their job, and a home run gives them a comfortable kind of sweat-free win, I got nothing to complain about, honestly, especially too many pitches up front. Okay. First inning and too many full counts. All right. That's fair, but it's a little nitpicky, Roy. Come on. He threw 78 pitches. It's not like he threw 108. He had a very solid outing. So agree to disagree on this one. Look, I'll take it. Emmit Sheehan is a guy that has been effective. I mean, his ERA is a little high, 4.22, but tonight, no home runs, just 2 walks. I mean, that's a solid B+, A- performance right there from Sheehan. And the bullpen, A+. Bonda, Enriquez, Vesia, Kasperius did not give up a run, just 2 hits amongst them. So all in all, super solid, and love to see it. As far as the offense goes, we'll talk about that after the break, and we'll hang a star on the player of the game, which is fairly obvious to me. The Locked On Dodgers postcast on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel, the place to hang out when every game is done. Don't forget to check out the Locked On Daily Dodgers podcast right here on the Dodgers YouTube channel. That's with Travis Rogers, Monday through Friday, breaking down the fine, minute details of what's going on in the Dodger universe. We come on right after the game and give you instant reaction here. It's the Locked On Dodgers postcast on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel. Today's episode of the Locked On Dodgers postcast is brought to you by Gametime. I'm a huge fan of Gametime, especially when this happens. If you've just ever kind of last minute decided to head to the ball game with friends or family or buddy or whatever, you want to make it a game day, and that wasn't your plan 24 hours earlier. You're just like, it'd be fun. We don't have anything planned. Let's go to a game. Well, this is where Gametime comes in, and comes in big, because it's the easiest way to grab last-minute tickets without stress, and more importantly, saves you money on those tickets. Gametime makes buying tickets fast and simple. Prices on the app actually drop as you get closer to first pitch, and they've got incredible last-minute deal, clear seat views from the app so you can see where you'll be sitting, which is huge, because sometimes moving over a section or up a section can save you a lot of money, and you don't lose that much of a vantage point. Your view is still quite spectacular. So they have the lowest prices guarantee that takes the worry out of buying. They also have a special little thing on the app called Zone Deals, which picks the best seats in that section for you. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Gametime. Download the Gametime app. Use the code LOCKEDONMLB. That's LOCKEDON MLB, and you'll get $20 off your first purchase. Download the Gametime app today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. And now a new sponsor to Locked On. Today's episode brought to you by Game Day Hue. And so is that hat I'm wearing. What? Oh, they're giving me lines. Sorry, they're feeding me lines here. I love it when they do this. No, I did not get my hat from Game Day Hue. This is just a regular old Dodger hat from some sporting goods store when this was a spring training hat one year. I bought it was mid 2000s. I bought this one and the Angels version when they had the wing, like 03, or maybe it was 01. Yeah, it was 01, I want to say. And then 02, they won the World Series when they changed all of that. So I bought the special winged angel hat when they were owned by Disney, and it was out of fashion just the very next year. And that was before throwbacks was a thing. So anyway, Game Day Hue makes clean, no logo gear with team-inspired colorways for every pro and college fan base. It's all about letting you support your team and let the colors speak for you. No giant logos all over the front or the back of the shirt. Just smart, versatile style that works on game day, on the course, or anywhere in between. This has always been a thing for me that I've loved. I for a period of time was the promotions director at a radio station, and radio garb that the people who work at the radio station wear is very gaudy, like big logos all across the front. And I always wanted small, quaint logos on the shoulder or some weird place like on the back, in the middle, or something. This is what's going on with Game Day Hue. They make clothing and gear for your team that is very it's classy. It's not body and out of control with the logos. So you should check it out. GameDayHue.com is the website. Let your colors talk, because colors speak louder than words. That's GameDayHue.com. If you use the code MLB15 at Game Day Hue, you will get 15% off. So check it out, Game Day Hue, for classy, no logo gear that helps you support your team. Locked On Dodgers postcast on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel, place to hang out when every game is done. 5-2 the final today in Fenway in Boston at Fenway Park. Dodgers didn't have too much trouble with the monster today. A couple of balls hit off there for both teams, but the fact of the matter was the Red Sox played it better. There was a double off the wall in that third inning where Cypress High School's what's his name? I always mispronounce his first name. It's Jaron Duran. I always want to call him Jared Duran, but Jaron Duran was at first on that double, and he came all the way around to score because he knew exactly how to play that. Bregman hammered that ball off the wall. But again, that would be the first run of that would be the second run, and that would be it. So the Dodgers handled the monster well. In the fifth, Ohtani walked. Will Smith singled off the wall. As far as the Dodger offense, it's been all Will Smith and Shohei Ohtani of late. They have a 900 OPS during this stretch that they're going through right now, which is 11 losses versus 16 wins. So this little funk that they're in is starting to get better. But it's not due to anything that Shohei Ohtani and Will Smith aren't doing, because those guys are taking care of business. But today, other guys chimed in because Andy Pajes had a couple of hits. He's also been hot of late. Freddie Freeman, a couple of hits today. He's definitely coming out of it. And of course, Teoscar Hernandez, the not game-winning home run, but the insurance home run that put this one out of reach.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Yeah, that made this one comfortable for us to watch after Shohei hit that. I mean, after Teo hit that home run with two aboard. With one aboard. But he had 3 RBI on the day. So a nice day for him because he walked with the bases loaded. A 9-pitch at bat there. So he was up there being selective. Unlike Shohei Ohtani tonight and of late, when it comes to fastballs up, I was flabbergasted by this because this stat came shortly after they shared the stat about Shohei and Will Smith with a 900 plus OPS during this stretch of games where the Dodgers have been in a funk. Shohei Ohtani is 2 for 24 on fastballs up in the zone. I don't know if you saw that last strikeout when they showed it from the side. That was the longest, loopiest swing I think I have ever seen. I don't think he could have swung the bat any harder than that. You know, they always measure the speed of the ball coming off of the bat, and Shohei can get up there into 110, 111 miles an hour. And I know they're capable of doing this, but I don't know where to find it. They can measure the speed of a swing of the bat, and I'm sure that was like 130. He swung so hard, and that ball was at his face. Shohei's never met a pitch he doesn't like. And that's just who he is, and that's what we have to deal with. It is frustrating at times, especially when you hear stats like that, 2 for 24 with high fastballs. It's a very specific pitch in a very specific place. He is a very talented, competent baseball player. Lay off that pitch. I'm sure he can see it coming. He just doesn't want to. He's like, nope, I'm hacking. I'm up here hacking. So that can be frustrating. But look, the bottom line is he gets it done. So it is what it is. He's not going to turn into a punching Judy, slapping balls around the yard. He's going to go up there and swing from the bottom of his spikes or the top of his shoelaces, as they say. And he makes contact with those sometimes. That's when he hits those balls that are like 450 feet down the right field line foul, like into the third deck at Dodger Stadium when he gets a fastball up in the zone. Just remarkable. But yeah, it's hard to believe, but it is true. After that at bat, Dodgers stranded Freddie and Teo, or stranded Freddie led off the inning, I think with the single in the 5th, maybe a double, and Teo struck out. So, in spite of Teo taking care of business today, it wasn't the greatest of nights, but he was the most impactful guy for the Dodgers with 3 RBI. As I said, Pajas with a couple of hits and an RBI. Tommy Edman 1 for 4 and a fantastic. Let's not overlook that defensive play Tommy Edman made in the 9th inning after Bregman had doubled to lead off the inning. The next batter up hit one hard down the third base line, and they were all kind of shifted over. Tommy Edman ranged to his right to make the play and throw him out. I think it was Anthony. And it's Story who led off with the double, not Bregman, and then Yoshida with the ground ball there. Fantastic play from Tommy Edman, which was very crucial to the Dodgers getting out of that 9th inning. You would really not felt good about things with first and second and nobody out. Another thing that we could look at from this game and say this needs to be a little bit better. Hae-Sung Kim has been atrocious of late. I know a lot of you guys are huge Hae-Sung Kim fans, as am I, but he's going south fast. His batting average over this stretch for the Dodgers where they've been struggling is like 190, and that was early in the game. He was 0 for 4. He struck out 4 times, the golden sombrero, and wasn't close on most of them. He is really off balance and out of sorts, and talk about swinging at everything. Yeah, his average is plummeting like a stone off of a bridge. So he needs to find some rhythm and, have better control of the strike zone because he doesn't have it right now. Miggy Rojas 0 for 3 tonight, which is a little bit surprising because Miggy's average is well over 300 over the last 23. He's batting like 333 at the start of this game over the last 23. So he had a tough one. But all in all, positive things up and down the lineup. Positive things from the bullpen, and the Dodgers pull off the win comfortably 5-2 over the Red Sox to start this 9-game roadie, 61-43, while the Red Sox are now 55-50, and that snaps a 7-game home winning streak for the Sox at Fenway. Final thought, which I thought was interesting just from a trivial standpoint. I had no idea. I was very interested to learn and surprised all at the same time that Fenway Park did not have an upper deck until the 80s. That's remarkable. I'm like, really? I mean, that's in our lifetime. That's not too long ago. So the upper deck at Fenway did not exist in 1975. It was just the lower bowl, which is crazy. I mean, it's the oldest ballpark in Major League Baseball. Then you've got Wrigley, I believe, is like a year or two younger, and then Dodger Stadium is third, as we all know, built in the 60s. So obviously all of these stadiums are being remodeled and revamped and upgraded all the time. But at least when the Dodgers built Dodger Stadium, it had an upper deck, and I could assume the same would be true for Wrigley, but maybe not. I'm gonna have to research that because that's probably just not the way they built stadiums back then. That was just not part of the plan. So I thought that was very interesting to learn about Fenway, that they did not have the upper deck until the 80s, which is just, wow, surprising. 5-2 tonight. Dodgers win. We'll be back tomorrow. Game 2 of this series, which will start a little after 4. It's a Saturday game. It'll be on Fox National, so not on Spectrum, not on the usual home. Kershaw will go for the boys in blue. Mookie Betts should return to the lineup. He had family issues. He was in Nashville tonight, in case you were wondering that. But all in all, didn't need him, and he could use the time off. There's a fair amount of talk about the potential of him moving back to the outfield or second base, because they feel like maybe these struggles are due to his, his focus and his concern with being a good shortstop. So we'll see if that happens. I don't believe it's going to happen anytime soon, but we can always keep an eye on it. Anyway, it's Kershaw tomorrow versus Garrett Crochet. First pitch, 4:15 on Fox. We'll be right here on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel to break it down. We'll talk to you then. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And of course, as always, we appreciate your comments. Take care. Have a good night. We'll talk to you.